Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Synergy presentation on securely communicating with clients using Onvio Client Center. My name is Emmy Valme, and I'm a senior technical trainer at Thomson Reuters. In this session, we're going to explore the different tools and features that will allow us to set up a secure portal for our clients. So again, we're going to look at some of the tools that will allow us to communicate with our clients and also exchange documents. So in this session, we're going to learn how to customize Onvio Client Center. So we're going to look at some of the tools that will allow us to personalize the Onvio Client Center account for our clients. We're also going to take a look at how we can add and manage relationships. So by creating relationships in Onvio, we can then share documents with our clients and contacts. And the last thing we're going to look at is how we can view the Client Center as a client. So before we dive into our first topic, I just want to show you what the Client Center looks like from the client's end. So here I'm currently logged in as the client, Erica Thompson, and this is just to show you what the portal looks like for a client. So Onvio Client Center is an online platform. So from any web browsers, your clients could simply use Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. And on the search field, they can type in onvio.ca and log in using their username and a password. Once they log into their online account, they will see two tabs. The first tab allows them to view any task or any requests that were sent to them from the firm. So just to give you an example, if you needed documents to be signed by a client, you will be able to send a task from Onvio Center to your clients via Onvio Client Center. You could also send a task if you need documents from your clients. So we're going to look at that throughout this presentation, where if we need a slip or a form from our client, we can easily create a request in Onvio and send that request via Onvio Client Center. So again, as soon as the client logs into their Onvio account, that's the first thing they're going to see, which is the task tab. And then they have a tab called Documents where they could view any documents that were shared. So here for this client, we have two folders that were shared. We have one that has her 2020 tax return, and we have another document just called Shared with different years or different tax years. So for this client, she does have the option here to add new documents into the folder. She's also able to download the current document and save it in her computer. She can delete and she can send the document to another individual, or she can send the document via email. So all those options are available here on the top, where again, the client has the ability to manage any documents that were shared between the firm and the client. So now let's look at how to customize Onvio Client Center. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go to my Onvio account, where I'm currently logged in as the firm administrator. And the first thing we're going to look at is by going through the setup menu, we're going to click on Onvio Site Settings. So the first thing we're going to look at here is how to customize Onvio Client Center. So in order to customize the client portal, we're going to go to the setup menu and then we're going to click on Onvio Site Settings. On the top, we do have the option here to add a plain text. So we can add here the name of our business so that as soon as the client logs in, she will be able to view that information on the top left corner of her Onvio Client Center account. If you have a logo, you can click on Upload Image and you're able to browse through your computer in order to add the logo of your company into the client's portal. And if you already completed the section called Firm Settings in Onvio, you can actually pull the logo that was already added to that section into the client's portal. Okay, in order to view that logo into the client's portal. Here at the bottom, we could choose the color for the client's portal. So if you want it orange in order to match your logo or any other colors, you do have those options here. And if you do have a website, you can also add a login button on your website. So your clients will be able to access your website, then click on this option here in order to sign in to their Onvio Client Center account. So again, if you have a website, you could just copy those HTML codes onto your website in order to allow your clients to log into their portal directly from your website. So this is the section that will allow you to customize the client's portal. Now we're going to take a look at some of the notifications that are sent out to our clients. So we're going to go to the setup menu, and in the setup menu, we're going to click on notifications. In the notifications section, we can actually customize some of the emails that are sent out to our clients. So what's important here is on the first tab, under the styling tab, we strongly suggest that you change the sender's name and the reply to email. So what we recommend here is that you add your information so that when the clients receive an email, they know that it was sent by someone in your firm. So if you have a general email, you can add that information here for the reply to email. And again, we recommend that you change the sender's name. If you have a logo or if you have a top banner in all of your email communications, you can actually add them here in Onvio. Same thing for a signature. If you have a default signature and you want to add them into all the notifications that are sent out to clients, you do have the option to add them as a footer. Once you're done with the styling tab, you can click on Save Style at the bottom. Let's continue with the second tab, which is the Wording tab. Under the Wording tab, you will see a section here called User Activation. So again, once you click on Wording, you're going to see a section called User Activation. And if you click on Client Center Registration, you're able to view the email that is sent out to clients when you activate their access for Onvio Client Center. So this is a copy of the email, again, that is sent out to clients so that they can register to Onvio Client Center. What we recommend is that you customize this email. So you can add a short text that explains to your client what is Onvio Client Center. You can add a short text that explains that you just acquire a new software, a new platform, and you're going to be using this platform in order to exchange documents. So what we recommend here is that you add as much information as possible in order to inform your clients of what is Onvio Client Center. Also, we want to avoid that the clients deletes this email or sends the email to the junk section of their mailbox. So by providing as much information as possible, your clients are less likely to believe that this email is a spam. Once you're done customizing the email, if you scroll all the way down the page, you will see the option to save. And you also have an option to send yourself a test. So if you click on Send Test, you're able to view the notification that will be sent out to your clients. So you can actually have a preview of that notification before you send it out to all of your clients. So this is the section where we can customize all of the notifications, again, all of the emails that are sent out to the clients. It's also the section where you can specify how you want to receive certain notifications from the software. So just to give you an example, if we go to the document area, we do have the option here to have a notification every time the client adds a file in Onvio. So with this feature, I'm able to receive a notification within Onvio. And that notification within Onvio will be available on the top right corner of the software. So once you click on that bell, you're able to view all of the notifications within Onvio. You also have the option here to push certain notification through your mobile app. And just know that the mobile app for the staff is called Onvio Documents. And we can also receive notifications by email. So just know that for this section, we can receive a notification every time a client adds a file to Onvio Client Center. If you feel like you might receive a lot of notification, what we recommend is that you click on Daily Digest. So with the section Notification Frequency, I can specify when I want to receive those notifications. Do I want to receive them in real time, or do I want a daily digest? So with the daily digest, the system will only send a notification the following day. And in that notification or in that email, it's basically a summary of all of the files that were uploaded in Onvio Client Center by your clients. Okay, so that's the notification frequency for clients adds file. So now that we looked at how to customize the online portal and how to customize the email notification, I'm going to show you how you can activate the access for a client so that they can have access to Onvio Client Center. So in order to do that, we're simply going to go to the setup menu. And in the setup menu, we're going to click on clients. So again, once you're in the setup menu, you can simply click on clients. So here I'm going to look for my client, Erica Thompson, and I'm going to click on the edit option in order to access her file. So this is a client that was previously added to Onvio for management. And as you can see, we have all her information in the general tab. What's important here is when you add a new client in Onvio, you just have to make sure that the fields that are marked with an asterisk are completed. So here we have to add an ID. We have to have the first name and the last name of the client. We also specify the client's language. Okay, and this is the language for the Onvio Client Center account for the client. Okay, so again, by specifying the language, it also specified the language for the client's portal. And if we scroll all the way down, another field that's really important, but it's not mandatory, is the email address. So you must add an email address so that your clients can have access to the online account. And what's important is that the email address have to be unique. In other words, you cannot have two clients with the same email. So each client have to have their own unique email address in order to have access to Onvio Client Center. Once you're done adding the email address, you could simply go to the left-hand side and click on the Client Center Access tab. So on the left-hand side, if we click on Client Center Access tab, we can see here that Erica is registered to Onvio, and we do have here the activation for Onvio Client Center. So if our client was not registered to Onvio, we simply need to click on this little toggle in order to activate it. Once you click on that toggle, you will see this window here where we ask you, do you want to send the registration email to the client? So just know that it's exactly the same registration email that we just saw under the setup menu in the section called notification. So here what's important is that we want to make sure that we have the right email. If there is a mistake, we can click on edit and make the notifications directly on this screen. And once you're ready to send that email out to the client, you could just click here on send now. You also have the option to send the invitation later. Just know that if you click on later, you must come back to Onvio for management, come back into the client's file, and under Client Center Access tab, you need to reactivate that toggle for the Client Center. Once you click on send now, you're going to see a little message telling you that you must click on save in order to send the registration email to the client. So here you just have to click on save on the top right corner, and that will send the registration email to the client. So that's the process when it comes to a client whose entity type is individual. So as you can see, it was really easy. Once we have the client's information in Onvio and we have an email address, we can simply go to the Client Center Access tab in order to provide them access to Onvio Client Center. Now, if your client is a corporation, it's a similar process, but there's just an extra step that we need to do. So here in Onvio, I'm going to go ahead and create a new client. So I'm going to click on add. And for this example, my client will be a corporation. So for the ID, I'm going to add in C for corporate, followed by an ID number. And for the entity type, I'm going to use this drop-down menu in order to select here corporation. And then I can add the name of the corporation. So for the language, I'm going to select English. And just know that here I'm going to scroll down for the email address. So for a corporation, the email address is not a mandatory field. What's important is in order to activate the access to Onvio Client Center, we must add a client or contact whose entity is individual. So again, when your client is a corporate client, in order to provide them access to Onvio Client Center, you must create a relationship. So you must add a contact whose entity is individual. In order to add that relationship, we just need to click on the relationship tab. So here, as an example, I can add Erica Thompson as a relationship to this corporation. So in terms of creating a relationship, it could be, for example, I could add a shareholder as an individual client who has relations with the corporate client. Okay, so that's one type of relationship that I can create in Onvio. So again, you can add a shareholder that has a relationship with a corporation client. You can add a director who has a relationship with a corporate client. It could be a tax matter contact, or it can actually be an additional contact to the corporate client. So these are the different types of relationships that you can create in Onvio. There are actually three class of contacts that you can create. You can create a client contact, which entity could be individual or corporate. And just know that all of the client's contact are usually individuals that your firm bills for work. So again, all of the client contacts, so all of the clients can be contacts, and they're usually individuals that your firm bills for work. Another type of contact could be a staff contact, and those are all of the staff members that works for your firm. And the third type of contacts are standalones. So standalones are neither clients, neither staff, and just know that they cannot be billed. So as an example, as a standalone contact, you can have a broker. So again, a broker might not be one of your clients, may not be a staff, but you might exchange information and documents. So that person will be considered as a standalone contact. So you can have a broker, you can have a bank representative. So again, it's any other types of individual, again, that are not considered clients and or not considered staff members. So those are the three different types of contacts that you can set up in Onvio. For this session today, I'm going to add Erica Thompson as the director of this corporation, which is Thompson Inc. So I'm going to create a relationship by clicking on Add. And once you click on Add, you have a drop-down menu for relationships. And if you scroll down, we could see here the option for director. So at the bottom, we do have the option to add Erica's information in Onvio. But since Erica is already a client, so since she was already a client contact that was added in Onvio, I could simply click on Select Existing Contacts. So if we click on this hyperlink where it says Select Existing Contact, it has a new window, and here I could just type in the name Erica. And I'm able to save her information as a director of the company of Thompson Inc. So it actually saves you a step where you don't need to re-enter all of the client's information. So again, since she was already added as a client contact in Onvio, I'm able to pull her information into the corporate client by clicking on Select an Existing Contact. So now that we added a relationship to the corporation, I'm just going to go ahead here and click on Save. And now I'm able to simply go to the tab called Client Center Access. And if it was not done already, I can activate her access to Onvio Client Center. So again, if it was not previously done, you can now activate her access to Onvio Client Center. So what's going to happen for Erica is when she logs into her Onvio account, she's going to have one account, but with two different sections. So again, in her Onvio Client Center, she can log in using her email address and her password. And as soon as she logs in, she's going to have the option to view all of the files that were shared from for the corporation. And she could also see all of the files that were shared to the personal account. So again, in her Onvio Client Center, she's going to have two sections. I just want to go back here to the relationship tab and just to let you know, you're not limited to a certain amount of relationship. So just know that you can create as many relationship as you want between a corporate client and other client contacts. So here I'm just going to do another example. I'm going to click on add. And if I want to create maybe let's say a relationship between a shareholder and the corporate client, I can again use this drop down menu, select shareholder. And if the shareholder already exists in Onvio, I can go ahead here and click on select existing contact. So here I'm going to select Eric Thompson and then click on save. And here we can see his information, and he's now a shareholder to the corporate client, Thompson Inc. So again, here you're not limited to only one relationship. Again, you can have multiple relationships. So here, I'm just going to continue by pressing on save. And the next thing we're going to see together is how to share folders with our clients. So in order for us to share any documents with our clients via Onvio Client Center, we must go to the document area. So here in Onvio, we're just going to click on documents. And under the client document tab, we have a drop down menu where we can actually look for one of our clients. So you could use this scroll button in order to search for your clients, or you can actually type in on the search field the client's ID or the client's first name. So here I'm going to select the corporate client, which is Thompson Inc. And for Thompson Inc., just know that you do have the option to manually create folders for your clients, or you could set up folder templates. So in order to set up a folder template, you could simply click here on the setup menu, and you do have the option here to set up a folder structure that you wish to apply or you wish to assign to multiple clients. So again, here in Onvio, if I click on setup, I can click on folder templates. And here I can set up a folder structure that I wish to assign to multiple clients. So as an example, I'm going to create a new template. So I'm going to click on plus new template. And for this new template, I'm going to call it client documents. So here my main folder will be called client documents. I'm going to continue by pressing on save. And now if I want to add subfolders, I can just click on the main folder and then click on new in order to add a new folder. So here again, my main folder is called client documents. I'm going to create two subfolders. So the first one will be called documents to sign. So in this folder, I will be able to add any documents that I want my clients to sign. And I'm also going to create another subfolder called tax forms. And in that subfolder, the client will be able to upload any documents, okay, that will be used to produce their tax return. So now in order to assign this folder structure to multiple clients, we do have two options. We can go to the setup menu, click on clients. Here you could select multiple clients and click on edit in order to assign a folder template to the selected clients. Okay, so this is one of the options that will allow you to assign a specific folder template to a client. So on the first field, you could use the drop-down menu in order to select create a new template, create a new folder from template. So in order to assign a folder template to the selected clients, we're going to select the second option. We're going to continue by specifying the folder template, which is client documents. And you could also add the year. Once you proceed with the second step or the third step, here we're just going to show you that this folder structure will be assigned to the 3 selected clients. Okay, and then you can click on Done. So this is one of the options that will allow you to assign a folder structure to multiple clients. You could also assign a folder template to clients through the document area. So if I go back to the document area and I go back to my corporate client here, Thomson Inc., I can click on plus folder in order to create a new folder. So again, here I'm going to call this new folder client documents, and I'm going to add the year. Then we're going to have the option here to select a template. So I can select here the client document template, and that will pull the subfolders into my main folder called client documents. So here, if I click on save, again, I have my main folder here called client documents, and then I have my 2 subfolders. Now I can add documents into this folder. So if I click on documents to sign, I can then click on upload in order to upload any documents that I want my clients to sign. I do have the option also to have my Windows Explorer window open, and I can drag and drop files into OnView. So here, if I have an engagement letter that I want my clients to sign, I can select the letters and then drag and drop them into OnView. Okay, so we have them right here. Now, in order to send a request to the clients for them to sign these 2 documents, what I can do is I can just select one of the documents and then go to the Manage menu, and I have the option at the bottom called Approve. So again, here, once you created a folder into the client document, and if you have any documents that you want them to sign, you could simply add a file, a PDF document into that folder, then select that PDF document, go to the Manage menu, and select the option Approve. Once you click on Approve, you're going to see the option here to send an approval request to a client. And with this feature, your clients will be able to sign any documents electronically. So here we could select the recipient. So we do have the option here to select the director, which is Erica Thompson. And we can also select another recipient. So we can have that same document signed by 2 individuals. So here I'm going to select Eric Thompson, and I'm going to send those 2 requests via OnView Client Center. So what's important here is that you have to make sure that both clients have access to OnView Client Center. So you have to send them a OnView registration email so that they can complete their registration and then complete the approval request. Let's continue here with the e-signature feature. So we have our client letter, which is a PDF document, and we do have the toggle here to activate the e-signature. So I'm going to activate it by clicking on the toggle, and then I can add the placeholders onto the document. The placeholders would basically indicate to the client where they need to sign. So here I'm going to add the placeholders for Erica. So I just added the signature and the date, and I'm going to do the same here for Eric, where I'm going to add his signature placeholder onto the document. I'm going to continue by clicking on save. I'm going to add the due date, so I'm giving both clients till next week Thursday to complete this request, and just know that the request will expire in 2025. For security reason, if you want to change the expiration date, you can just click on the little calendar icon, and then you could choose the date. So again, for security reason, if you want to shorten the expiration date, you can do that by clicking on the calendar icon. So let's add a subject here for this approval request. Okay, so it's basically document to sign. It's just one document that we want them to sign, and then we're going to click on send. So as soon as you click on send, you're going to see that that document is now locked for security reasons. So no one in the firm will be able to delete that document or move the document. And just know that both clients have received a notification by email that asks them to actually log into Onvio Client Center in order to sign that document electronically. We're going to continue with another request. What we're going to do here is we're going to request some documents from our client. So here I'm going to click on up one level in order to go back to the main folder. And here I can actually see my two subfolders. So I have documents to sign, and I also have a folder here called tax forms. So now for this example, if I want my clients to provide me their tax forms that will be used for or to complete their tax return, I can just tick this box here right beside the folder, go to the Manage menu, and then select the option called Requests. So again, what we're doing here is that we're sending tasks to our clients via Onvio Client Center. So the first task that we send to our client is we want them to sign a document electronically. So that approval request were sent to two clients, and they will be able to complete that request via Onvio Client Center. Now what we're doing is we're requesting documents from one of our clients. So here for the folder tax form, if we click on manage, we do have the option here to send a request out to the individual client, which is the director of the company, or we can even send it to the shareholder. So let's continue by pressing on requests. Here we could select the recipient. So using the drop down menu, again, we have the two client contacts that are linked to the corporate client. We're going to select Erica here as the contact for this request. And again, we're going to send this request via Onvio Client Center. Here we can see that once the client completes the request, the documents will be saved in this folder. We can also specify the documents that we need from our clients. The advantage of using this feature here is that we can actually use a predefined template. So if you already created request templates in Onvio, you can actually select them. And all of the document requested will be listed into this request, or you can actually type in the documents that you need from your clients. Okay, so just know that in this section, you do have the option to add new document requests. So for example, if you need a financial statement, but you want to go form by form, so you can type in, I don't know, balance sheet, and then create or add a new document request and specify the other document that you need from that client. We can keep it simple by removing the second request and just adding all the information into one document request. We're going to specify again the due date using the calendar icon, and we're going to change the expiration date. We're going to add the subject here for this request. And then we're going to click on send. So now both requests were sent to our clients. Just know that you do have the option to track all of the requests that are sent to clients via the communication tab. So in the document area, the last tab called communications allows you to view all of the requests, all of the tasks that were sent by the individuals of your firm to your clients. So here on the top, we can see the two requests that were just sent to our client. So here we have our financial statement requests that were sent and also documents to sign. And for both requests, we can see that the status is still waiting on client. As soon as the client complete those tasks in Onvio Client Center, just know that the status here will be updated. In the communication tab, you can manage all of the requests that are sent out. So you can actually filter this entire list in order to view, for example, only the requests that you sent out to clients. You could also add a filter in order to see only the requests that are still pending. So here, in order to filter all of our communications, we can click on this icon. And then we do have the option here to select the client or select the communication type and choose the communication status. And I can even choose who added the communication. So you have several options on this screen where you can manage all of the communication, and just know that these, or on this screen, you could see the communications that are sent out from you and also from your colleagues. So you can see all of the communications that were sent out to clients. Now, one thing you should know is you, as a staff member of a Onvio account, you do have access to all of your clients' account. So there is an option in Onvio that allows you to view the client center as the client. And just know that for that feature, you don't need your client's email address and you don't need your client's password. You could simply go to the setup menu, click on clients. Here, we're going to search for the client Erica Thompson. Okay, so we have her here. We're going to click on edit. And we're going to click on the Client Center Access tab. Once in the Client Center Access tab, we can see here that Erica is registered to Onvio. So we can click on Show Details. And once we click on Show Details, we will see the option to view the Client Center as the client. So once I click on this hyperlink, it's going to ask me, I want to see the Client Center on a different window. I clicked on yes, and now we're currently logged in as Erica Thompson. So on this screen here, we can view all of the tasks that were sent to Erica. So what's really important here is that you don't complete the task for the clients. It's really just to see what was sent to the clients. So here we have two requests where we ask the clients to provide documents. And as you can see here on the top, those are documents for the corporation. So if I click on all tasks, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the client will have one OnView Client Center account, but with two sections. The first section, they could view all of the requests that were sent to her personal account. And then the second sections are all the requests that were sent to her corporate account. So here we have a document request and an e-signature request. So once the client clicks on Start, they will be able to complete that request directly in OnView Client Center. Same thing for the e-signature request. If the client clicks on Start, she will be able to complete that request. So as you can see here, her name is highlighted here in bold. She can then click on she can click on this option here to confirm that she read and agreed to the terms and conditions. And then once she clicks on review, she could then choose her signature style and then sign the document. It's going to be the exact same process for that second individual, which is Eric Thompson. Then on the second tab, the Documents tab, we can view all of the documents that were shared. So here again, we do have two sections. So on the top left corner, we can see all of the personal documents that were shared, and we could also see the corporate documents. So these are the steps to follow in order to send communications out to our clients using OnView Client Center. This actually concludes today's presentation. Just know that I will be around during Synergy, so I'm going to be at the client services or user services kiosk. So if you do have questions in regards to OnView Client Center, feel free to simply jump in and come and see me and ask your questions. So thank you for listening to this presentation on securely communicating with clients using OnView Client Center, and enjoy the rest of your Synergy presentations.